One of the worst things that can happen to a human being is invisibility. In other words, people completely ignoring you. You're in school and nobody gives you a second thought. That creates issues psychologically, but not only in you, but in others, because others wondered, well, if nobody is paying attention to you, if nobody has interest in you, then just maybe you really don't matter. That is what the Democratic Party is attempting to do with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Now, these are the people who more connect with the issues that the vast majority of Americans, take a look at the polls, are asking for or saying that they want. It is true that right now Biden is the one leading in the polls, not by much in the aggregate, but he's leading in the polls, but not with a majority, just a plurality, just ahead of Bernie Sanders. And we know that Elizabeth Warren has just taken, because of all the policies that she's coming out with and explaining it in a manner that people understand, people are starting to gravitate towards her as well. Now, if you want to see what it looks like when they attempt to erase you out of the body politic, anybody who watched Bill Maher last night will see exactly what this Democratic pundit did. And it was clear. And for those people who didn't get it directly, subliminally, believe me, that message was received. And here it is.
The big problem you have in this is that in some ways it looks like the Republican field in 2016, which is you've got the presumptive frontrunner who represents the last administration, Jeb in 16, and now Biden today. Then you've got the kind of outsider who has this core support that everyone thinks is a ceiling, but might actually be a floor. And then you have 19 gremlins who are going to be fighting it out to emerge in third place as the viable alternative. And if Democrats aren't careful, they're going to get Bernie Sanders as their candidate.
I think that, first of all, I think that our field is a little bit different than that. Let me describe it a little bit different. I think it's the most diverse field in terms of you have two African-American candidates, you have Julian Castro, we have dynamic women that are running for office, and Kamala Harris and Amy Klobuchar, Senator Gillibrand, the list goes on and on and on. And we have 4 or 5 people right now, the polls are saying they can beat Donald Trump. With all that being said, I do think if the election was today, Donald Trump would win 4 more years because we still have to get our house in order.
Absolutely, and getting your house in order actually means honesty with the American people. Notice that he mentioned 3 women, and there are 2 of those 3 women that are below Elizabeth Warren in the polls. Notice that the other pundit went ahead and addressed the issue with Bernie Sanders and how close Bernie Sanders is to actually getting the nomination based on today's numbers, and he simply ignored, he never mentioned the name Bernie Sanders in response to this guy. That is the way you attempt at marginalization. As people are made more aware of that, it doesn't make them continue that marginalization, it pisses them off. And why does it do that? Because it says you're trying to do what you've done before. You're trying to direct the Democratic Party in a direction anathema to where the people really are. Friends, please click the button here and subscribe to the channel. That is how we get the message out.